federal judge lifted the freeze on President Trump's buyout plan for federal workers, allowing the administration to advance its plan to shrink the federal workforce. The Trump administration says at least 65,000 workers applied. Within hours of that ruling, the administration closed the offer to other workers. Democratic Congressman Mike Levin of Dana Point joins us live right now from Washington to talk about that and other issues. Congressman, great to see you.
Good to see you, Alex. Thank you.
What do you make of this?
Well, I'm quite concerned because this buyout that was done by Doge, which I think is destruction of government by Elon, really was done without any consultation from Congress. There was no appropriation of funds, and there was no normal process. For example, when Bill Clinton was president, he worked with Congress. They had the Reinventing Government initiative with Vice President Gore, and they did a buyout of $25,000 back in 1994, but they actually got the funds appropriated. They went the normal course of business, and that didn't happen at all. So I'm very concerned that this buyout isn't going to really happen, that these employees are going to be left with nothing. And my understanding is they've signed away their rights in the event that they don't get the buyout package that they think they're going to be receiving. So it's, I think, just another example of Elon Musk and the Trump administration really just running roughshod over the legislative branch. There really is not a respect for the legislative branch as a co-equal branch of government. The Article 1 power of the purse is something that has not been challenged like this in 50 years. Richard Nixon tried, and then Congress came back, Republicans and Democrats alike, and passed the Impoundment Control Act of 1974 that the Supreme Court upheld in a 7-1 decision in 1975. So Congress needs to reassert its Article 1 responsibility, and I implore my Republican friends to remember that they, too, are a co-equal branch of government. And someday Donald Trump's not going to be president anymore, Alex. And the question that I have for them is, when a Democrat is president, do they want those guardrails and those checks and balances to be shredded?
So if I'm hearing you right, you're not necessarily against the idea of a buyout. You're just against the way that the buyout is being done?
Well, I think that we didn't even have the discussion in the Congress, Alex, but we all want efficiency. I, in particular, do not want to see bureaucracy for bureaucracy's sake. But there is a way to go about this when you have a very close majority in the Congress, as the Republicans do in the House. They should try to work with Democrats to get things done. But instead, what we have is the executive really just disregarding the legislative branch. And my concern is, are they going to disregard the courts next?
Yeah. And when you say Article 1, without making this a law school thing, let's go back to the Schoolhouse Rocks thing. For everybody, a reminder, Article 1 says that all spending is supposed to come from the U.S. House of Representatives. That's where it's all supposed to originate before it goes to the Senate, before it goes to the White House, all the rest of it. It's the House's job. And you can't just do spending from other branches. And that's your concern. So you're on the Appropriations Committee, which is at the origin of the spending. All spending in the House got to come out of appropriations. So what are you all going to do about it? And because the Republicans have a majority, and a lot of them are supporting what Musk is doing.
Well, we're going to appeal to them in private and in public, and we're going to fight like crazy. We're going to do so with all the legislative tools that we have, with the procedural tools that we have. We're going to support litigants who are out there trying to do what they can in the court system, and ultimately through communication and mobilization. And I really just hope that Republicans remember they want to raise the debt ceiling. They want to get a spending bill across the finish line. If we can't come to an agreement by March 14th, the government will shut down. Republicans control the House. Republicans control the Senate. Republicans control the White House. Republicans need to avoid this government shutdown, and they ought to do it on their own. And if they can't, then we're going to have a discussion with them. But we're not going to just do whatever they want. We are going to negotiate for the good of the American people, and the kind of cuts that they're proposing to Medicaid, and to food and to those who are most vulnerable in our society, Alex, so that they can pay for a massive tax cut for billionaires like Elon Musk, that's not going to fly with us.
Yeah. All right, Congressman Mike Levin, we appreciate you sharing your perspective. Obviously, we know there's a lot of perspectives on this one, and we are grateful for you for coming on.
Good to see you, Alex. Thank you.